What did I think about Odell Beckham Jr. said he can't? Old Odell Beckham Jr. saying he couldn't make it off of $100 million. And my reaction is, and then he had Mike Epps co-signing him and Shannon Sharp. Well, we know why Shannon Sharp couldn't make it off of it, because when you have to pay your OnlyFans off, yeah. So when Odell Beckham Jr. said $100 million wasn't enough to last a lifetime, I'm like, well, yeah, if you give half your family your money, you buying cars and bottles of champagne, and you hanging out with 304s, and you staying at the hanging on pole dancing, yeah, you could go broke. Like, ain't you ever heard of a 401k, IRA, offshore, some accounts, bonds, stocks? Really? How do you say $100 million is not enough to live on a lifetime when people lived off of half of that or a quarter of that, and you saying ain't enough to live on? I mean, these cats is money spending is wild. Time was a cat get a guaranteed contract, he would set his house up and his whole family. To hear a professional athlete or someone come on and say $100 million ain't enough to live on is bonkers. What in the world are you doing? And it's not like you eating like you Fat Albert. It's not like you have, well, if you got 60-11 children and you got 60-11 cars and you can only drive one car and you got 60-11 cribs and you can only live in one house at a time and you got to pay taxes everywhere, you got to pay this and pay that, yeah, it might go through it pretty quickly. It's still one of the most embarrassing things I ever heard someone say, that $100 million ain't enough to live on. That's just as bad as when Latrell Sprewell said that the $14.50 million wasn't enough to feed his family. I'm like, what you got? Water buffaloes in your house? I'm like, these people, cats be saying some. This is why you don't give everybody a platform and a microphone. Because you say something dumb, no one's going to really ever take you serious. And really, an ODB, who was a really good receiver, could have been a great one. He lived off of that one catch. He did win a championship with the LA Rams, but he kind of is like a wasted cat. He was more starstruck than actually performing on the field. And his antics, hanging out with Bieber during the playoffs and dropping passes, his antics overrode his actual game. We know more about him hanging out with Trey Songz and Bieber than we actually know about him on the field. So, he did have a little mini run with the Rams, but, he one of those kind of cats that it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda if you put more effort in. But look, if you make $100 million, look, you can make $1 million and look pretty good for life. You make $100 million, portfolio, you gotta expand. You gotta stay out them strip clubs. Messing with them skanks and them jankies and getting hustled is gonna make your bag go low quick. But even with $100 million, you gotta be doing some just off the wall stuff. So I ain't trying to hear no cat say this crap. He's trying to say it with a straight face, and then Mike Epps chimed in and Shannon Sharp. I'm like, are y'all for real? Are y'all really for real? Y'all really gonna say this mess and tell somebody that ain't enough to live on? What, y'all got some water buffaloes and elephants in your house that y'all gotta feed? I mean, come on now. It's really embarrassing, and it's just embarrassing beyond. If you make good amount of money, you take good care amount of money. I know you gotta pay taxes and fees and all that, but still, you should still have enough to take care of yourself. Oh, for real. And that they want people to feel sorry for them when regular people are struggling just to get by. Miss me with that, ODB. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm all the time. Peace.